in order to go through this discussion, what I did was, I started laying out what does contract structure look like. And again, this is not new to most of the audience, but a typical contract, let's say a procurement contract, and in this case I took some liberties and I included components that you'll see across multiple contract types. Your contract typically has header level information, terms at the header level, who is the contract with, the contract start and end date, term, and so on. It'll have clauses. The bulk of your contract contains, pages and pages of text, i.e. clauses, that govern the relationship between the parties in the contract. It contains, contracts would contain milestones and deliverables, regardless of whether it's a buy side or a sell side contract, they would contain some form of deliverables, either attached or included in the form of a structural exhibit or embedded within the clauses itself, right? Contracts, they include payments and other terms as well, like termination notice, governing state, and so on. Contracts would include obligations as well. Again, obligations typically, they're either a clause or a part of a clause itself. But you can see the different types of obligations. These could be performance obligations, reporting obligations, audit and quality obligations. ESG is becoming very, very common, and we see that a lot in contracts these days. And then there are other types of obligations, that are backed by some hard targets, in terms of metrics like invoicing SLAs and IT SLAs that also appear in agreements. It's contained pricing schedules. Many agreements contain pricing schedules, whether they are for products or services. I think you all get the idea. This is largely the structure of a contract, and of course, many additional pieces of information in the form of addendums, exhibits, attachments, and so on, like assets that are being purchased, or freight charges, or subcontractors that are a part of the agreement, and so on. And if you really take a step back and think about, all of this information that needs to be assembled, what goes into assembling all of this information?